The Sutherland Canyon Fire burned nearly 30,000 acres in Douglas and Grant counties. Directly in the fire's path was a 10-acre breeding facility for the endangered Pygmy rabbit. The facility is operated by Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife. With the help of firefighters from the Bureau of Land Management, facility staff were able to save about a third of the population.
When we saw the fire coming on Tuesday, we got up on Monument Hill and I was talking with our program managers and we were kind of making a game plan. And so we made the decision, the enclosures have an irrigation system that we occasionally use to augment moisture, kind of give the native vegetation an extra shot of water because we do have, captive animals in here. So with the fire still about 1.5 miles, 2 miles away, we were watching the retardant drops in front of us. That was both exhilarating and kind of matter of fact that the fire was getting pretty close. So our crew, we made a mad dash out here to turn on our solar panel pump, and we just threw the floodgates open and we tried to get water in the system, but because it's so large, the drip irrigation, we pulled all the drips off and tried to put in sprinkler units, but because the system's so big, we couldn't get enough pressure. So staff went running around trying to plug up everything we didn't need, and then we just started cutting off the sprinklers altogether to kind of get the thumb in the hose effect. So we started getting a lot of spritzing out. The capacity for each nodule is about 1/2 gallon an hour. So pretty much at that point we had to run out of here, but you can see that here's the irrigation line and there's another one right over there, but this entire section of sagebrush is pretty much the only thing we're looking at in this entire valley that did not burn within the fire perimeter. And so it looks like our quick irrigation maneuver did something good. And pretty much this corridor of live sagebrush is the only place we're finding rabbits. I'm gonna try and examine this one. But the fully captive breeding occurred at the WSU and Oregon Zoo and Northwest Trek from 2000 to 2011, at which point we started transitioning to the semi-wild conditions here, and that occurred at 2011. So here we are. This is juvenile of the year. I would estimate, based on having handled hundreds upon hundreds of these, that we are looking at probably 6 to 7 weeks old. So it looks good condition, no burns, no obvious injuries. Kind of holding on because I don't want to waste our crew's valuable efforts capturing. So this individual looks perfect. This is exactly what we wanted. We want young kits. They're going to be the most valuable breeders for the future years. So we're going to put that one right back. And so I would estimate within the half hour we're going to run this group to our processing team, and they're going to catalog what we have, and they're going to we'll have a team of runners ready to run them out to one of our other breeding enclosures. Even though we had 4 breeding enclosures specifically for this purpose, to guard against catastrophic wildfire, disease, or some other disaster, this was our most productive one. And Wednesday night, when we knew it burned over, essentially we went thinking that we lost our entire release so far this year to the wild, and we potentially lost half our breeding population. And the remaining 3 breeding enclosures are all we have outside of our one wild free-range population at Sagebrush Flats, which we estimate between 80 and 120 animals. Getting out here and finding animals alive was a huge feeling, and then having the rapid response where we got in here, and now we're pretty close to getting almost everything out of here. It's really big, really big.